Hello and welcome to another episode of Stories from the Set. Coming to you not live from the beautiful Gramercy Palace in Koreatown. Stories from the Set focuses on people who work in the entertainment industry, not just in front of the camera but behind the camera, not just above the line but below the line. My guest today is a director, producer, stuntman, well hell, a MacGyver of the entertainment industry. Please welcome my guest, Antonio Chaves Trejo.
Thank you for having me here, Jesus.
Yeah, no problem, man. Welcome. So, Antonio, just out of curiosity, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Mexico City, born
That's
and raised.
that's so interesting. I have family in Mexico City.
Beautiful city, super crowded, more than LA.
Yeah, super crowded. Don't really obey the traffic laws very well there.
It is actually, yeah, the worst kind of like the city to
And, and
actually. It is great to actually learn how to drive. You can actually drive there. You're good everywhere else in the world. So
yeah, because I think traffic lights are more like suggestions.
yeah. Yes, like
From what I remember.
blinkers, for example, like we don't use it. Like if you see someone blinking, it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you.
Yeah, they do that. They do that here too,
Yeah, a
and I
little
think
bit.
that's everywhere.
Yeah.
What are you currently working on right now? Are you producing anything? Are you
Yes.
directing anything?
I'm producing and directing a film that I'm about to deliver in 2 days.
2 days. Okay.
Yeah, so right now I've been literally just, as I tell you, like non sleeping. I finished working around 7.
Seven and
Yeah,
seven this morning.
7 this morning.
Wow. Oh, that's right. We texted this morning.
Yeah. This is a short film. It's called Resilience. It was written by a French model and actress. Her name
I'm
is
sorry. What's the name of it?
Resilience is French.
Oh,
For,
resilience.
yes,
Resilience. Okay.
but because the model and the actress is French, so everything is in French. Editing is kind of like a little bit difficult because I have a script and I have the translation, but I actually kind of like need to learn what is he saying and the intonation, the emotion, you know.
So my question is, did you, was the script initially written in French?
Yes.
Oh, really? Did you write it in French or?
No. This one, she approached me and he was like, "Hey, I have this story. It is something that I never done something like this. I don't like art pieces where you just like a narration and then nothing happening except what's on screen. But this was a very personal story for her about depression and suicidal thought tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
I have met people like this. I have had friends like this, and
Mm-hmm.
I have been side by side with them during difficult times. So I was like, okay, like write it well, show me something good, and then I'll see. She wrote a really beautiful script, and I was like, okay, I'm on board. But give me a couple of days, let me figure out how I would shoot it. I We just discuss it. If you're cool, then we go for it. And then this was like a really beautiful
Was
script.
was this her first time writing a script, or had she
Mm,
written scripts
she
before?
has written scripts before.
Okay.
She's kind of like famous in France
Oh,
because she
right.
was a teenage tennis star.
Mm. Ooh, I
Uh,
wonder what her name was.
yeah, like she even played like Roland Garros, like really big tournaments over there. And the cool thing is that the moment this one is gonna be gone, it's gonna be premiere on December the 5th, if I'm correct, at a new theater that the company Pathé Gaumont, which is the biggest company for theaters in France, they're gonna just open a new mall, new theaters. So this is gonna be screened as a part of the premiere.
So where are these new theaters opening up at?
Somewhere in Normandy, up north in France.
Oh, so they're opening new ones in France, not here in the United
Yeah.
States.
No. The premiere.
I thought they were opening. I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah, no.
that is commitment to a short film.
Yeah. No, the premiere is there. Pathé is the biggest, also the biggest studio company in France. So they own a studio company, they have the corporation, and then also have the theaters. And the cool thing is that they saw the teaser, they like it, and they're gonna premiere it there, and then we're gonna have a 1 month distribution all over the country, and possibly in Switzerland and Belgium.
Oh, that'll be nice
Yeah.
to hit all the I don't know, French speaking territories, I guess you can call them.
Plus, it gives me the first time to have a project that has all the requirements that the Oscars actually ask for you to submit.
So you're gonna apply to the Oscar. You're gonna
Yeah, hell
submit
yeah.
for the Oscar short film, huh?
Yeah, so that would be
Okay.
the first time. Everything else has to want, work or whatever. But
What is the woman's name, by the way?
Melissa Selikovic.
Oh, I don't remember her from tennis.
Yeah, no, she was
Silikovic.
she was playing like 8 years ago.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have been following
Yeah,
that.
but as a teenager, so
Right. Yeah, I would have
she
been
was really
following.
good for a while. Like she was ranked second
Mm.
in her in the country. So yeah, and the film turned out great. Like it was like super long. Even though it's an 8 minute short film, it took us 11 days because we have like
Wow, 11 days to shoot an 18-minute short film? What?
yeah. We
Like,
have, like,
how
very
many
different
setups did
locations.
you have on a daily basis? I mean, how many angles were you getting?
It is a very complicated, very different thing because it's an art piece. So everything is
Mhm.
about going to downtown. For example, we have this piece on top of the wisdom tree. And,
Oh, okay, you hiked the wisdom tree.
Yeah. So no, everything was a hike. Like we had to go and hike the wisdom tree with lights and the whole thing. And then,
Okay, so
yeah,
what grips and electricians did you talk to do that 1 mile hike?
no one.
Oh, that was just all you, huh?
Everything was all both of us. Like the
Oh,
whole thing.
wow.
So we
How many
hiking up
times did
there.
you have to go up the trail? Or you're like, "We better bring all the equipment once."
Yes. So carrying like 40 pounds of equipment on my back just to carry the necessary things. And that's it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was tough.
That's not because that trail is not well groomed,
I
man.
know. And consider that this was done at 2 a.m.
Wow.
So yeah, because we wanted to have like the beautiful, like the city. Like actually, we were shooting towards Burbank. So
Okay,
it's
yeah,
kinda
yeah,
like a very,
yeah.
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 But yeah, the first time that we went, we were kind of like locked into this super thick fog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're totally ruining your shot.
No,
You're-
because we have a beautiful shot of her in the foreground and then the moon in the background,
Oh, okay.
which is really weird because she was just spreading the light all over the fog.
Uh-huh.
It is in the film, but yeah, we had to go back. We have a 20-mile hike that we had to do inside of the desert. We went down to San Diego, very close to San Diego. It was 120 degrees. Same thing with all the equipment carrying on our backs.
Wow.
So that's why it took us so long because every time that we
Wow.
were going to somewhere, he was carrying the equipment on my back and some on hers, and I don't know, like just very complicated locations. A couple of times we went to get we were trying to get a waterfall. We would go and the waterfall was dry after like 10-mile hike. So
Oh, right, right. There are some waterfalls out there, and I think Palm Desert.
there's one. No, for example, there's one in Glendale that we went. There's another
Oh, okay, all right.
over
When you,
Malibu.
because you said desert, I thought.
Yeah, for the desert, no, desert we went to a different spot very close to San Diego, like an hour from San Diego. But
Oh,
that was just to get like a beautiful, just landscape of the desert, nothing, just emptiness. Yeah, this one was tough,
yeah, I can imagine.
but it's funny because this is the film that I have shot with the least people, like just the actors and me,
Oh, yeah.
and potentially speaking is the one that is gonna go the farthest.
How big was your cast for this film?
It's just her.
So just you and her doing it all,
Yeah.
run and gun, guerrilla style.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is really fun. I've never done anything like this because I like narrative. I like
Mhm.
writing narrative. I like action. I like heavy drama. And having doing this when it's just like her performing to something that is gonna be a voiceover. Yeah, it was kind of like I don't like that, but turned out well.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna make people cry.
Okay. Well, let's hope cry for the better, right?
Yeah, but it has an kind of like uplifting, ending. So it has a good spirit. It leaves you in a good mood. So that I like.
Oh, good. So that's your current project. That's the one you're trying to finish right now.
Yes.
What have you worked on in the past? What are some of your other projects that you've worked on,
In the
directed or produced or
Yeah, fun stuff.
here? Better yet,
Tell me.
who hired you as a stuntman?
Hiring a stuntman.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How'd you get in? How'd you like? Yeah, I'll do that stunt.
I have always done martial arts since I was
Okay.
a little kid.
What discipline?
Many. So I've gone through karate, taekwondo, which is the one I have my second dan, hanudo, aikido, capoeira, uh, different styles of kung fu, specifically Wing Chun, which is the one that I'm doing the most right now.
Mm.
Like Bruce Lee, the Master Ip Man.
Chikundo.
Never tried that one.
That's what Bruce Lee
Yeah,
taught.
that was the one that he created.
Yeah.
But like he based you can do on actually on Wing Chun,
Okay.
ninjutsu. And when I came here for a master degree in filmmaking. I have
Where'd you go to school?
New York Film Academy.
Oh, New York Film Academy. Oh, that's right. It said it on your thing.
Yeah.
Grr.
No, yeah, I came there, and
That's Anna went to New York Film
yes,
Academy.
the
Yeah.
first tournament
Yeah.
was there. This is where we met, and later
Yeah.
we started working together.
Oh, okay. All right.
Actually, one of the feature projects that I'm going to be working on as second unit director is a feature film that she's producing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's a really nice comedy. They're gonna have right now like Amanda Cerny, Jennifer Esposito. I brought Luis Guzman from a different project that I directed, a music video early this year.
Jeez, I should ask her for a job.
Yeah, like this one is coming, so we're just waiting to get green light. But yeah, it's in production right now.
Cool. Now I know who to give my resume to.
Yeah, no, we're like pushing through, trying to get trying to get like bigger and bigger and bigger. Early this year, I directed this music video for this artist. Her name is Soleil J.
Who?
Soleil J.
Oh, okay.
She's an Argentinian singer. And
Oh, okay.
this was produced by a Grammy winner. His name is Mafia. He's from Miami. And it was fantastic. It was a music video with actually starring Luis Guzman being on set.
Who was on set?
Luis Guzman.
Oh, Luis Guzman.
Yeah.
I think I have a picture with him.
Really?
Yeah.
He's super, super cool. Like, I mean, I think, like, the company that I work the most with, Supersonics Media, like, we have him as a client in the PR section. I'm the one responsible for the production area of the company. And I have had the opportunity actually to work with him a couple of times. And some of the talent that is there. But since I came here, yeah, it has been a ride. Like, I just started, like, working for, like, I don't know, $50 a day for like,
Yeah.
small short films. And
Been
then
there,
just
done that.
Pushing through. But yeah, it's a fun.
Well, not quite as bad as $50 a day, but bad nonetheless.
Yeah.
It was cheap.
Oh, yeah,
Less than 100, I could say that.
yeah. Now those were just like the student days. Difficult, a little more complicated when you come here and
Right.
you don't know one.
Right.
Just coming here was hitting the reset button, and forget about it. You had a career.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So did you do stuff in film in Mexico? Did you have projects in Mexico
Yes,
that
I
you
did.
worked on?
I did quite a few. First of all, coming out of college, this was
I'm-
like, yeah.
Go ahead and tell me about it. I keep looking at my phone because I have a friend who's a Mexican horror director, and I'm trying to find him on here, see
Oh,
if you
cool.
guys know each other.
Yeah. Let me know. Yeah. So going back there, my first job actually ever, coming out of college, was well, actually no, my first job ever was in Blockbuster. So literally.
Blockbuster.
I know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, my film career started there.
You and Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
But I don't think his was a blockbuster.
Yeah, no, it was just like a random thing. But for me, yeah, it was like big corporate. I miss them actually. But my first actually job coming out of college
I
was
did work at a blockbuster as well.
Tarantino.
No, I
Oh
did.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
fun. You would get all the thing that I would hate is just like I was there for a summer and just hearing like this CD playing over and over and over, you know, with all the biggest hits of the 80s. My God, and I hate the 80s. So anyway. Coming out of college, my first job was directing and producing for TV
Mm-hmm.
for a company that is called etcetera, and they have Exa Radio as well. And I used to have 4 different shows, one of them live.
Oh, how many shows?
4 shows.
4 shows, and how many were live? All of them?
One was live, like daily from 2 to 3,
Oh, really?
and that was sponsored by Coca-Cola company, and it was a hot show for like pop stars. We would always have like whomever was like hot or was releasing an album or a single that time. We would have them. A lot of famous people, like mostly like from Mexico or just.
Did you ever have like any like huge Latin stars that people would know? Well, this is what I found out.
Yeah.
Is that there is a whole world of Latin music I absolutely know nothing about.
Yes.
Like I see a billboard of like a band with like 16 guys in it, and they're filling up like Staples Center or something like that.
Yeah, most likely I don't like those bands. I'm more into like pop or actually, funny enough, grunge music.
So Shakira. Oh, okay. I was gonna say Shakira.
Yeah, Shakira,
I
yeah,
like to I like to grunge with Shakira. I'll tell you that.
Shakira is really really good. Actually, I worked with one of the producers of Shakira,
Mm.
taking pictures and videos with him. J2, that's his name. But yeah, I started like that in Mexico, like just doing TV. One a show, another one was like about trend and lifestyle. Another one was just well about films and entertainment. And did a few short films, like enough so when I came here, I already have like a career, and I was accepted and got a nice scholarship.
I can't find him. So, but would so you got a scholarship to New York Film Academy?
Yes,
Well, that's good. That's an expensive school to go to.
it is. One of the things that helped me is that my mentor, his name is Guillermo Arriaga. He's the writer of
Ooh,
Babel,
my
Antonio
mother's
Chaves.
maiden name is Arriaga.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a really unusual name. Maybe they're related.
I have no idea.
Well, this guy wrote Babel, 21 Grams, Amores Perros, you ever
Mm.
seen it? And he was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, I guess. So
Mhm.
it was really helpful to have, his,
Yeah,
his
that's
signature
good to have
there.
a mentor.
Yeah, actually, my first set ever, which is kind of like fucked up with the way
Now,
I see things.
your first set, all or your first U.S. set?
No, my first set ever.
Okay,
In a
okay,
like, I did like short films, so I
uh-huh.
don't count them. It was just
Okay,
part of
all right.
school. But my actual first professional set ever was a film that is called The Three Burials of Melquiades Estrada, which was directed by Tommy Lee Jones
Mm-hmm.
and was written by my mentor. So they shot it in. It's called Sausalito. It's somewhere in Texas,
Yeah,
in the
so
border. Have you seen? You know this place?
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
They have a beautiful like golf camp, like and resort at the
Mm-hmm.
same place. So they booked the whole thing for the production.
Oh, really?
So
That's
well, yeah, this is a $20 million film. So
that's crazy.
that kind of like the
We
story.
need a golf course over here.
Yeah, and right there, like Rio Bravo, just the border, and then you can see Mexico on the other side.
They're like, don't let those people swim across.
Yeah, that's impossible. Like we were actually saying because there was a lot of Mexicans like, hey, let's just start like throwing like stones back to try to recover some land. No, but it was fun because it was fun, but also kind of like fucked up with my point of view of what sets are. Because the first set I ever was like this massive multi-million-dollar set with
Mhm.
having such like an A-lister there as director,
Right,
an
right.
actor, and then when I come here, and then when I start going to different sets, I was like, it's not.
Yeah, once you get something like big and you go small, you're like, oh, this place sucks.
Yeah,
Where's Crafty bringing with that tray at?
yeah.
No Crafty tray? What the fuck? How much am I getting paid?
No, forget about getting paid. Like my first gigs here were, with students,
Right, right, right.
and then sometimes it's not even like you get like 2 candies and some biscuits or
Right.
whatever, and you're like, oh my god. And yeah, I remember, for example, that said, you would have a full kind of like just what's it called, like an RV, just to make sandwiches.
Oh yeah, food truck.
Yeah, or one for candy,
Right.
and they were like, yeah, that's cool.
Who's eating that much candy? Although I did work on a commercial where they brought in a waffle truck where they just like
Ooh,
made
that's nice.
waffles with ice cream and all this stuff. That was pretty cool.
I like when they do that, yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
But sometimes they come like, okay, today we're gonna have salmon. Ooh, it's fancy.
Oh yeah, when you get the fancy meals,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you see you feel sorry for all the extras. You're like, oh, you guys just get bologna sandwiches? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go eat over here.
Oh, I know friends, actors that sometimes they go and do some background,
Yeah.
and they sometimes when this one of the big studios they actually get like the fancy stuff as well.
Yeah, yeah. Certain productions are like that, but I've been on productions where
Yeah,
yeah, it's like sorry.
it's like being in the Titanic. You're like, oh, you third
Yeah,
class.
yeah, you're third class. But like at some I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, like I've been like on my feet for the past however many hours, like setting up scene after scene,
Yeah.
and they've just been kind of sitting around. So that's right. I do get the donut, and you get the Keebler cookies.
Yeah. I'm usually just stacking some Cokes and Doritos nachos.
Yeah, sugar and carbs.
That's the way to
That's
survive.
the survival. So, this is just an art piece that she's working on. There's no real storyline or plot line, or there's
Uh,
no. She doesn't say any words. She just.
no. Like she doesn't speak to the camera. She'd actually we never hear her like saying not even one word.
Then how are you portraying all these emotions? How are you telling the story? I
Everything
guess.
goes with a voiceover.
Oh, so there is. Okay, there is a
So, yeah,
voiceover.
so it is a voiceover going through the whole thing.
Mm,
These are the things that I don't like. These are the things that I hate.
right.
But it does make sense. And then I was like, okay, if I can put like really nice imagery and very compelling cinematography, then this is gonna work.
You don't mind me asking what camera you used and.
Of course not. I can actually show you.
Oh, okay. Here, hold up. Move it over closer to your face. That was your
This
okay.
is our beautiful iPhone X.
Okay.
Actually, the credits is gonna read shot on glorious iPhone X. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna show you the teaser. I can show you the teaser.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then you're gonna see why I decided to show with this.
Okay. All right. You want me to pause this or you're going to hold it up to the
I can
camera?
actually show you to the camera.
Okay.
Hold on.
Cuz I could since this isn't going out live, I can edit it and put it in at the end.
I'll give you the link so you can do
Okay.
it later.
All right, cool.
But I can still show you to the camera.
Et puis un jour soudain,
No wait, starts too early. Okay.
et puis un jour soudain, tout a changé.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh yeah. You can get it a little closer even. Right there. Lift it up a little higher. There we go.
C'est alors que la solitude est apparue.
Where's this shot at, this opening scene?
This is shot in a place called Ansa.
J'étais seule. Seule.
Just that thing got the attention of Pategamont, which is the largest company for theaters that I tell you in France.
Wow.
The film actually looks way better than just that, but it was just convenient.
So, was this So you shot it on an iPhone. It's going to be in theaters. And is this the first project you've directed since going to films? I mean, not since going
No,
to
no,
film
no.
school, but out of film school?
No. I've
No.
done a lot of things. Since I moved here to LA, I think I have directed like I don't know, like 15.
Oh, okay. All right.
Something like that.
So this isn't like, oh, look what I did with my phone. Check it out.
Oh no.
And now I got my distribution.
No. Like that's the ironic part. Actually, I have directed feature film. I have directed like music video, corporate, like some short films, action things. I have been hired by Live Nation to perform live. Me and my stunt partner, we were hired to do the May the 4th Star Wars Fest.
Oh yeah, what'd you guys do?
Side. This is a fun thing. We went. We were hired to be the coordinators, the choreographers, and coordinators for a lightsaber show that they want to have. We go there at Riverside, and they have Live Nation have like their own theaters around the country. So we go there and we come with our katanas, bokens, because we want to measure the space so we can figure out how it's gonna be. And then we just playing with it. We just talking, pitching our ideas, the ideas to the producers, and he's like, hey, why don't you play? Why don't you perform?
They're like, all, these guys are good enough.
Like,
We
these
don't need to
guys
spend
know.
any more money.
Well, not only that, what they wanted to do is they wanted for us to teach dancers
Mm.
from a show that does this Star Wars burlesque show.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really cool. It happens in Anaheim. Um, it's called Devil's Playground, the company, and they have like this beautiful show with just like different characters, and then you have C-3PO getting naked, and it's like super fun.
Did you
Uh,
just say get naked?
yeah.
Okay.
It's a Star Wars burlesque show.
Okay. I like it. I think. And where's this happening at?
I'm pretty sure it's in Anaheim. This is where it was, but you can. I'll send you a link. It's
Okay.
Devil's Playground.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's
I want to
super
go to
fun.
that.
Yeah, and the thing is that Live Nation hired them, and together with them, they put 2 years ago this show, like the star for the May the Fourth Fest. So this was the second year, but the first year they just had like a couple of girls just crossing plates and that's it. Like, hey, let's have it cooler. So they hire us. My partner Ragnhild Bjorgi, she's from Norway. Like Viking.
Mhm.
This is the toughest girl I ever fought. Like she almost broke my tooth once when we were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the only one that I actually have achieved that. It's still a little bit loose after like 5 years. And you're like, hey, you can play it. You're like, yeah, we can. Like we have performed before. I don't like performing that much. I like being behind the camera, but when it comes to stunts, I don't mind as long as I don't have a line. And you're like, okay, what do you want? Which characters do you want? And then after like 2 hours of just figuring out, they decided, okay, we want to please both the old fans and the new fans because we're gonna have a lot of kids. So we need to have one of the new characters. So let's have Luke Skywalker against Kylo Ren. So of course, all Luke Skywalker. Ragnhild, she's taller than me, so you're like, okay, you're gonna be Kylo. Plus you're a girl, so you need to put a mask. So I played old Luke Skywalker.
Oh, Luke Skywalker.
So I had the beard.
Mexican Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I know. But with so much light, I was white, I guess, so no one noticed. And it worked.
Your skin's. We need to lighten his skin more.
I was tanning a lot all these years before. All that blue milk
all
gets
that.
in there. Yeah, but it was kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna be a Jedi for real now because this thing is sanctioned by Disney. So, speaking, I'm a Jedi now.
Did you get to pick out your own lightsaber?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but
really?
I have my lightsaber. The funny thing is that I use my own.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I
Did
already
you bring
got
your
it.
own? Does it have?
I'm a freaking fan of Star Wars.
Okay, this.
Oh, that's so cool. Such a rebel.
Yeah, I'm a rebel.
You
Wait a second. Let me get
rebel
on camera. That is my rebel.
That's fun. Yeah, well, same thing. Like I would be wearing.
Okay,
like
this
that.
is what I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Is your lightsaber handle custom?
Handle what?
Is your lightsaber handle custom?
No, it is like.
Have you seen those custom handles?
Yeah, but okay, I'm shy about saying this, but maybe I shouldn't say it. But I'm gonna say. They didn't want to put a lot of money into like props and stuff.
Oh yeah. What, they want you to use your kendo swords? That's good enough. That's like a
No,
lightsaber.
but they were like, hey, we're gonna use these ones that we have, and then it was like, yeah, they don't look that good. So I'm a Star Wars fan. I have a couple that I bought at Disney. So these are the ones that you can get at Disney store when you go to Disneyland.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
short by at least 8 to 10 inches
Uh.
for what actually you would use for like performing. So it was really tough because we had to fight like really, really close because if not, it would be like it did the trick. Like there's some links on YouTube, I guess. I have some on my stunt reel. It looks good. Like at the end of the day, we had like two pieces. The first one was on the main stage. I have never performed. I literally was never in front of like 2,000 people just performing.
Right.
The most maybe was like 200.
Uh-huh.
So it was kind of like I'm used to be with a lot of people, so I don't mind. But yeah, the first moment when I come, like it's just the music playing, like just like the classic theme, and then I'm with my cloak, and then I come and reveal myself, and then and it was like super fun. Like you just get so involved in it, and then we have just right there, kind of like a 7-minute piece that ends up with both of us fighting. Kylo Ren is having the upper hand, and I escape. They brought all the shows, and then after that,
You mean you weren't a first Force Ghost in this scene?
no.
No.
Well,
Okay.
we tried to have some fun stuff with the Force, but it was more expensive, so we pretended.
pretended.
At the end, like Luke just flies away. They bring other stuff. So the second part, the second piece of the day of the fight, it's in the balcony for the VIP. So, of course, the the good guys need to win.
Mm-hmm.
So as Luke actually ends up cutting Kylo Ren, and he falls. It's like a 20 feet drop.
Oh Jesus!
No one was expecting it. So the idea was like, Luke wins. Everybody's looking and they're like, eh, and cheering because the good guys won. Like you want to see this.
Mm-hmm.
In real life, no, the bad guys are like I don't know, more relatable. Like people like them more. So she drops, and then everybody instead of actually focusing on me, which I have the spotlight, they turn off the lights on her so no one noticed that she's on the safety pads that we put there.
Mhm.
These are very high.
Yeah,
so it's
20
very
yeah.
specific the way it works. Everybody's just staring at her because they want to see if Kylo Ren is fine and if he survived. No one look at me. So I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna go because the moment that she just went out and then just give thumbs up, everybody cheers, so like, and that's it, and then they just turn the lights. But yeah, people don't like look at her as much.
They're like, oh, that looked like it hurt.
Yeah, people were like super into like that thing. No one was expecting that something like that was going to
Where
happen.
did they tell you they're like, oh, we could use foam, but cardboard boxes will work just as good.
No, we end up using cardboard boxes.
Oh, did you really?
Well, it's the old school style, like
Yeah.
style. It works well. Our professor in Stunt actually.
Mm.
His name is Jack Wang, and this guy comes from like literally Bruce Lee dynasty. So actually, he learned from one of the direct students of Bruce Lee,
Mm.
and he's from Taiwan. He started doing stunts when he came like later on in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And he has worked for like Pacific Rim and like a lot of like really big shows.
Uh-huh.
Also doing voiceover. So we learned a lot of the Taiwanese, like tricks.
Oh, really? What are some of those tricks?
Oh my god, like it's just a lot of performance that is like really strong to the camera to actually try to steal, for example, like some screen time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Jackie Chan. I think Jackie Chan is one of the best examples. I think it was what's it called, Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
Okay. I don't know if he was in that
I'm
one.
I'm trying to remember which. Okay, there's a film with Jackie Chan.
I just the earliest Jackie Chan American film that I know he made had something to do with like roller derby, like in the 1920s or something like that.
Yeah, no, but
It wasn't filmed in the 1920s. It was just like set in the 1920s.
yeah, no, but Jackie Chan actually started like being part of like just background fighters in Bruce Lee films.
Oh, okay, I get it.
There
I
is
get it.
one very specific scene. Rachel's gonna kill, like my stunt partner. She's gonna kill him because she's like super fan of Jackie Chan. So she's like, you should know this by now. There is this scene. Bruce Lee's fighting a lot of people, and then he punches, one of the henchmen that are just there. This was actually Jackie Chan. So everybody would just fall and then just go, to the floor, and that's it. Jackie Chan was very clever, and this is a story that we are told, and it is just right there in the camera. He goes, gets punched, and then has this one to the camera, and then just a reaction. That thing just stole like screen time for him to be recognized later on. It is just
interesting.
fun. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That is the thing that we learn. Like, get your screen time. If you didn't get it because they didn't block it, you can always go and find it. Which is true. When I'm choreographing, when I coordinated actors, I tell them the same. It's like, using the camera is staggering you guys and it's blocking. You just look for the camera. Like you can always, like you're actors, you know how to do this. It's tough when you're actually fighting, but you can always find like a good spot. So like they need to see it, if not, what's fun.
Right.
And
Right.
a lot of directors that have never shot like action, they tend to rely more on the DPs, and DPs they want to have like the perfect shot. And they're like, no, like this thing is gonna be just like 2 seconds. So
Right.
Perfect shot for that. Have something that looks really strong, that looks legit. It's a balance. It's a
Yeah.
final listen set.
I've never actually been on a set where they shot an action scene. The only like really complicated thing that they jumped a car into a pond. That's the only thing I ever.
Oh, that's cool.
Craziest thing I ever worked on.
Yeah, no, like.
I work on a lot of boring shit. Jesus.
Barn?
I work on a lot of boring shit.
Oh,
Jesus.
But a lot of the, for example, like last year, 2017, I got hired by a lot of horror films. for stunts mostly, and one of them happened somewhere close to. It's called Reading. It's a town called Reading, and
Reading, Pennsylvania, or Reading,
Reading,
California? Okay.
beautiful, beautiful place. Like I got lost in the woods at a certain point because I was taking a holiday, and I don't mind because I'm very outdoorsy. Like okay, I can just create a shelter camp and that's it. But I need to be back on set in 1 hour. I need to find my way back, and it was super fun because they have everything was like too explicit, extremely gory. Like we would see like someone getting just like the face smashed against like a fireplace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or someone being electrocuted right there on camera. Like, yeah, we want to see the sparkles. We want to see the city. Like, okay, like make it safe. Yeah.
What's the okay? What's been the favorite movie you worked on that you had to do stunts on?
His favorite as a performer, coordinator, or something specific.
As a performer.
Actually, this one was. I don't perform a lot for films because I tried when I perform is because I'm gonna do kind of like some stunt doubling,
Oh, okay.
and that's it.
Who have you stunt doubled?
No one famous, but for example, this is a
No one famous.
this is a totally not politically correct story. So
Those are my favorite kind of stories.
I think that you're gonna like this one. but
Okay,
I just
alright.
needed to say the disclaimer.
All right.
So this is I'm gonna put a title on this story. This is how I became. This is a story of how I became a professional rapist. It's a good subject line. Like,
Oh, okay. All right. I
it
gotta.
has attention.
I gotta hear this.
Okay, so we go to this. Due to respect to certain people, I'm not gonna say the name of the film.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on this set. I've been training the actors. I spent like a little bit of a week training all the actors. There were like so many, and there was gonna be like a lot of action. So it is a horror film, and this woman is killing them all, not because not because she's bad or she's not the bad girl, or the bad guy, but because she thinks that the house where she is possessed by spirits, and then she's confused. But the thing is that she's blind, so she doesn't know. So if she perceives someone as a threat, she just goes and attacks. Super fun. So there was this moment when there was this very specific scene when she thinks that she's being raped by a ghost.
I'm sorry. I didn't think that would come up in the story.
I know,
Being raped by
but
a
I'm telling a
ghost.
very funny way. I don't condone raping, but in this term, it's just like funny way. It's
Right.
Like it happened. So the thing is that like she started getting attacked in his mind. She started being attacked by a ghost. She's trying to escape. And the previous day we were shooting with the actor who was supposed to perform this thing. Now, all of this happens in a very dim kind of like like set, so you can't see it. It's just kind of like
Right.
shadow. The first day, this actor, he's older, so he was really stiff. We had a couple of problems during the shot because someone could have get injured, mostly him. And I come out of that set, out of this location, and then first the actors are on me like, hey, I don't feel very confident about like shooting this in tomorrow because he doesn't seem that actually he knows how to handle himself well. Like I might get injured because it was a really aggressive scene.
Mhm.
The director we want to be very explicit, not explicit about the sexual part, but explicit about the aggression.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. So I go on.
So instead of like him grabbing her wrist and her doing the movement, he was.
Oh, for example, just carry her and just drop it straight to the floor.
Okay, so
Very, very
safety. He
Yes.
was very safe.
It is safe, but it looks really aggressive. They're like well protected, even like padding or trying to find somewhere. So the actors come and they're like, hey, would you do it with me? Like I train her, so there's trust. Would you do it with me? Like, well, that is not up for me. I appreciate like the trust. I understand your concern. Like, let's talk to the producer and director and let's see what they have to say. She goes away. I'm walking. Actually, I was going for some crafties, and producer comes at me like, "Hey, Antonio, can I talk to you?" I'm like, yes. He's like, I've been thinking of it because I was looking at I was on Billy Baelish, and would you do the rape scene with her? You're like, well, okay, sure, let's talk to the director and let's figure out how this works. Go for my craft this time, inside of the house again, and then the director comes at me like, hey Antonio, like I have an idea, like you want me to do the scene? He's like, yes, how do you know? Like because everybody. So he's like, okay, fine. And then we had a couple of rehearsals with her the next morning. The guy didn't like it at all. That we took away.
Oh, he was mad, huh?
Yeah, he just went and stayed. Like I understand, but at the end of the day, he's like, I told the director, I told the producer, you know what, just pin it on me. Like, say that you need to keep working with him, he needs to be performing better. Blame it on me. He can be mad at me. I don't know.
Yeah.
As long as he's cool with the director and he's doing a good job, that is, it's like the best thing for everyone. Put on the clothes, and we do the scene, and that's how I became a professional rapist. Yeah. And I haven't seen the scene, but it looks
That's a good story. That's a good story. What's? Oh, you're not naming the name of the.
It's still not out, so.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
It should be out somewhere. I'm guessing that they're just waiting for next year to actually go to Hollywood season and just put it out. It's gonna be a horror film. But yeah, this one was the one shot in Reading.
And how long did that scene take, just to coordinate it?
Like takes me like a day to figure out like I call like a working day.
Mm-hmm.
To figure out like everything from the point of view of realism.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm always thinking because I have done.
Did you guys rehearse? How many times? You guys only rehearsed it a couple times before?
No, like the way I work is like I choreograph it, and usually I choreograph it with someone that I trust, or someone like some partner. I have a couple of people that I will always work with, a couple of girls, and they're amazing. So we trust each other, so we know. Kind of like planning in my head is like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. You get feedback, and then it just nurtures, from like collaboration. And it's just great. And then what I do is like most of the time when I go on set, and then I'm gonna do something that is action, related. Actors have never tried that. Even the guys who are like really buff, you're like, oh yeah, I can do physical stuff. You're like, yes, I know that you can do this physical stuff, but stunts are different because it's about safetyness and perform at the same time. They switch very fast. Like, I have a really good rapport with actors. I like working with actors, so they understand like, okay, this is different. Like, I can be an athlete, but doesn't matter if I was the same. When I started doing stunts, I was like, yeah, I can do this. After like a month, it's like, oh no, I need to relearn because it's a different way you conduct your body. So usually my first day is just like working on safety things with actors, so they know how to keep themselves safe at all costs, and keep the partners on the scene actually safe as well. And then just start going through the thing. So it's just going by beats, going through the motion, and once everything is locked, like safe and slow, I start adding layers. I start adding speed. I start adding performance, and we start looking for like. Openings for camera, but they'll at this point they already have muscle memory, so I know they're safe and I know they're gonna keep them safe. And then after that, the director comes and then you're like, oh, this looks really real. It's like, yeah, that's the point.
Now the problem with the guy who you replaced on the film you were talking about, was he just like too strong? Did he not know his own strength, or was he just not coordinated enough? Or
it was not an easy thing. First of all. Mentally speaking, it is tough because, well, I don't know. It's a guy like you have a woman that you're being aggressive towards, and it is kind of like like this moment that he's like, okay, no. So I can see that, and then there is a moment for him also when there's kind of like a lot of silent questioning, like, is this okay? Is this okay? And then he's like, you stop saying it, but then you ask it with a pause, and then you're like. Just keep moving, and then the actress, she's very professional. Like, no, like that's fine. Like, I knew this was gonna be the scene. Like, it was told to me, so let's do it like this. Of course, you're trying to be not as aggressive or not as touchy where you're not supposed to. Because sometimes you're like, okay, I need you to grab you by the ass. You're like, sorry. But I'm not going to go like full squeeze. You're trying to do it in a way that looks good for the camera, but you're still being disrespectful or stepping on boundaries. And that is one of the things that actually was kind of like pulling back. We could see that. Now, that doesn't mean that it makes it like easier for me, but I know better also because I'm a lot of behind the cameras. I know what is gonna be better for the camera.
Mhm.
So I don't have to do that explicit. I know where, for example, her hand is to be, or I know
Mhm.
if I want to choke her, what is the best way to actually choke someone
Mhm.
without being like unsafe at all and looking really, really aggressive.
Mhm.
Someone that comes new, they just sometimes if they're performing and they goes like really fast, they just go and straight choke. You know.
Yeah, that could. I've accidentally been hit
Exactly.
in the neck just slightly, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could easily crush a windpipe if you got it wrong.
And if you're doing like this 2-3 minute thing and then you just get into the moment and then suddenly just grab from behind and go like this, it does put like the actors in a way that you're like, hey, like every time you just hit in there, you're like, oh sorry, and then they don't remember it.
Mm.
It takes time. We know that there's no time set.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's why I ended up doing that because
Mm.
at the end of the day there was like a very specific motions. She's been dragged, she's been thrown, she's been choked, punched. She actually kicks back, and you need to be out of the space. If not, you're gonna get kicked out.
Mhm.
But yeah, it gets tough sometimes. So that's the reason why I have to do it.
Well, I hope it was a strong yet gentle performance.
It was like the best way for me to know, even though I actually was not behind the camera and I haven't seen it. It is just looking at the reactions of the people at B2B like and just being like very worried, like, "Yeah, it's looking good." Yeah, every time that we would cut, everybody would have like their eyes open and like, "Are you guys okay?" It's like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, that's what you know that you did your best good.
Okay, so that's you as a stuntman.
Yes.
You mostly coordinate,
Coordinate,
And-
choreograph.
coordinate. Is
Yeah.
there a difference?
Yes, choreographing is like the whole planning, safety issues, and everything. Coordinating is just on set, so actually being careful that things go well. Sometimes it is just they come attached, right? I choreograph it, and then I'm called to coordinate. Sometimes I choreograph, and then it just goes and happens. So sometimes I just call to be the coordinator, just to take care that everything is safe.
Yeah, I'm learning about it because I don't work, like I said, I don't work on things that have too many stunts. So I think I've worked on one thing where we called in a stunt coordinator just for a kick to the crotch.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, that would make sense.
I guess he got out of some sort of strap that the woman actually kicked, and
Yeah.
because originally it was just going to be like a kick to the thigh,
Yeah.
to the inner thigh, but the actor wasn't comfortable with that.
Really?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know, because like they kept, you could go a little higher, and he's like, no, she can't go. It was,
Well, yeah. I can
and
see.
finally, so they brought out the strap, and so he's like, look, just put the strap right here. Look, she can kick you as hard as long as you keep your hands here,
Yeah.
you'll be fine. And so that's how it worked.
With guys, it's always easier because, let's be fair, when it comes to like women, they always put them with really, really tight clothes. And
Right.
then you come as a coordinator, you're like, where do I put the padding? Like,
Oh,
you're gonna
yeah.
see it. You're gonna put like a spine pad, for example. You're like, it's almost thinking. So you have to figure out something else. So yeah, it's easier with guys.
Okay. I'm tired of listening to you stunt coordinate and choreograph now.
Cool.
So, but what I do want to know is, what's you've directed some feature films,
Yes.
feature length films, and what were those about, and how many have you done? And
I have directed just one feature film. I have another one that is coming up. The one that I did, yes.
before you get going, I just want to say that maybe I should read up on my guests. I should have my guests like facts over resumes, so I'm not completely clueless as we're having this conversation.
That's fine because you get to discover it with me.
Yeah, I get to discover it with you.
Um,
So, there are no stupid questions because there's going to be a lot today. Because I know nothing about you. This is the first time we're meeting.
yes, it is. The feature film, it is called Freeman. L. Freeman because it is an Slavic name, apparently. L-E-L. All of us that speak Spanish would keep telling to the writer and also the co-director and the one who did this, like, hey, it sounds really weird from Spanish-speaking people. Anyway, the film ended up being bought by a company in Kazakhstan and now working in distribution. It has won already like 3 different film festivals.
Did you say Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
I never thought, when you think of like countries that are going to send a representative from their film world to America. I wouldn't think Kazakhstan would be one of them.
I know quite a few people from Kazakhstan. Actually, I know a lot of people about that actually area of the world. His name is just Rakim Bekov. Very
Yeah,
hilarious.
not gonna remember that, and I don't know if anybody understood that.
We call
But
him Jack.
Jack. Okay,
So,
so we're talking about Jack.
Well, he's gonna Jack. So Jack comes and asks me one day. Actually, no, my DP Eric Jonas texts me like, "Hey, I'm working on this script." I knew Jack. I'm working with this script that I'm writing with him, and he wants to direct. We don't have a producer. Like we're missing someone to actually produce it properly. We just step on it, like show me the script. I read the script. It's a really beautiful script. It was written with a state of mind of like Soviet kind of films.
Okay,
I'm talking about
Battle of the Potemkin, or okay.
very contemplative.
Okay.
Like a lot of people doing like super long walks, a lot of introspection.
Someone was laying a lot of track for this.
Yeah, and then Eric Jonas, he's from oh my god, he's gonna kill me. From Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
He has
Wisconsin's easy to forget.
Yeah, he has Norwegian heritage too, but he was born and raised here in the U.S. and he's kind of like more structured towards narrative cinema, artistic as well.
Right.
But
right,
he's
right.
a really, really good writer. So I'm like, okay, fine. I read a script, really beautiful script about immigration, about how difficult it is for people to try to come here to America and kind of like live the American dream. But when you have everything against you, even when you're trying to do the right thing. And I don't know, I guess it is obvious that I feel related because I have to go through the whole process of being like, yeah, you need to get an artist visa. It is a tough process, but this is the story for like this guy from Kazakhstan, from Soviet countries that is trying to stay here, that is trying to get his lawyers, but at the same time, the only money that he can get is just like by working in a movie company illegally, and he becomes a burglar. Like pretty much like every time that they move someone, they check and inspect if there's something worth valuing. They always have a copy of the key, so they come and they just raid the house. And it is a
That's an interesting story.
It is a really beautiful story because it is kind of like a transition of how it is a story about freedom, about how to make your dreams happen even though everything is against you. It has a really, really wonderful cast, and while this was happening, so first I they bring me to the film, like I come and produce it. After like a month of me producing, the director at that point decides like, yeah, man, I haven't found anyone that I actually really like to play the role for the main guy, so I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, no, please don't. Like, you're in front of the camera like 80% of the film. Like, you're kidding me. They're like, yeah, no, I really want to play it. I need to say he's an actor. He's a trained actor. He's actually recognizable. He's famous in Kazakhstan.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good actor. And I understand that, but no, focus on directing. And then he goes, and I was like, well, you're directing with me. He knows my films that I have done before. He likes it, mostly one that is called Mirror Protocol that just ended the film circuit.
Mm-hmm.
Got many awards, so
good.
he knows the style.
We'll talk about that next.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So he likes the style. He likes. I operate my camera pretty much almost all the time. And
what's your like? Are you like a sticks guy? You a handheld? You like a lot of different angles, or how do you?
I think the camera, the cinematography depends. Works hand to hand with the story.
Mm.
So I don't have a specific set of mind.
Okay.
Like,
So you're not like when you watch a Soderbergh movie, you're like, oh yeah, that's a Soderbergh movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Like I think like the camera needs to serve a purpose to tell the story better, and not just be stubborn about like no. I want like one single shots, like just oneers, and that's it. And like, but you can tell the story better.
Right.
In this case, he wanted to have everything handheld because he saw it in this film, that Mirror Protocol that I told you.
Okay.
And then I'm like, man, like I got tired of Mirror Protocol doing the handheld thing, and that was just like a 9-day shooting. This is a feature film, and it's, a full Red Dragon mounted. He just gets tired, like after like 20 minutes shooting.
You didn't hire a Steadicam operator or something?
No, because the point it was not having a Steadicam.
Oh,
Everything
he
is
lo-
literally meant to be
oh,
him.
okay, all right.
So I'm like, okay, fine. So he's like, okay, fine. And then he asked me like, can you direct it with me? And I'm like, okay, I cannot produce and direct at the same time because this is really, really big endeavor, and then we're just rushing it. I have 1 month, so we need to bring more producers. 2 more producers came on board, so it was a collaborative spirit. I ended up co-directing with him, and the film ended up being like a really, really nice piece. There's some issues with the last cut that I didn't like. I think it can get better. This is just like very, very honest thing. Like the film ended up being good, but I think I would have expected for it to be more close to the what the script was,
Mm-hmm.
because the script was really beautiful.
Where do you don't think it was edited to really bring it?
I think when it got to the company that bought it in Kazakhstan
Mhm.
last at the end, they just wanted to make it like much more economic time wise, so it wouldn't drag. Because he was very contemplative. He's like, no, let's make it like it goes, a little bit faster. But then they cut a lot of things that you miss because you don't understand some of the connections.
You know,
It would have been just like 10 extra minutes.
I know what you mean because one of my first jobs in Hollywood was working for Roger Corman. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
Roger Corman was an independent film director who gave a shot to people like Ron Howard, Jonathan Demme,
Okay.
Francis Ford Coppola. A lot of guys
Yeah.
went.
He was the man those days.
Yeah, he was the guy because he wanted cheap labor. So where do you go get cheap labor? You go to film school, so you don't have to pay them that
Of
much.
course.
So that's what he did. And if they could write as well, then he doesn't have to pay a writer either.
True.
So that's what he did. And I would sometimes like have to like go into the screening room as because he would still watch dailies,
Okay.
and all you would hear sometimes is just this. Just him snapping his fingers at certain parts. Just snapping his fingers, going, "Let's pick up the pace, and then Francis, who would sit next to him, would just like make edit here, edit here. Edit here." It was hilarious. He wouldn't say anything. He'd just snap his fingers. Or at least at the times that I saw him.
Couldn't even want to stop the thing, just keep going, and then someone would catch.
Yeah.
Keep going freaking slow.
Yeah. He would just snap his fingers.
That's funny. Well, it makes sense, but sometimes films can get discovered or destroyed.
Right, you can't cut out too much. You can't make it too fast.
I edit a lot as well. I hate it.
What do you edit on, if you don't mind me asking?
Right now I'm editing in Premiere because I used to love Final, 7 when we had like the good old days like 5 years ago.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
when Apple decided to move away from us, it was like, okay, I started editing on Avid back in 2003 when it was just new. I was editing, with the old stations.
Oh
actually-
yeah, I remember Roger Corman. Roger actually got one of the first few set of Avid. We literally a bank of
Yeah.
tapes. You just and they would all come up.
ingest.
Yeah, all in jest. It was crazy.
It was terrible. Like I remember, like this happened when I was in college. Like editing, with these linear systems.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking about it just stressed me out. I think this is why I hate editing, because I remember going there and like we fucked up, like shit, I need to go back, and then doing the whole thing again.
Have you ever edited on film?
Like actually cutting?
Yeah, like
No.
cutting.
I don't think I have the
Shit.
patience for that.
I don't know if LACC still does it, but when I went there, and this was just in like 2010, 2011, you had to take a film editing class, and you had to edit 16 millimeter film.
Oh, wow. I have films, and I
It
have
was,
60
it was
millimeter films, but I wouldn't edit it. Like I wouldn't
y'all
do,
got
like,
everybody got the same footage,
wow,
but
that's fun.
yeah, this
So
one.
you do your splices, you just put back together, and the whole
Now
thing.
you got a number. Okay, so like you make a slice, you got to number it. You got to put it, and you got to put it on these like hooks. But then you like have only so many hooks, and then you got okay. So this is gonna be A1, blah blah blah, and all these because you all get the same ice cream girl binding ice cream footage, and you
Yeah.
gotta all make it different. It's so weird.
I have not even seen it like in real life. I've seen videos and documentaries, but that's it. I'm not looking forward to actually that. There's a reason why we move away from this and we have technology.
Yeah, so you don't have to. God, something bit me. Like,
I got
itchy.
bitten by a wasp 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Stung by a wasp. Ouch.
And I found it like it was inside of my pants.
What? How did it get in your pants?
Because the motherfucker just came inside, and then I felt something, and then I pull it out with my leg, and then just right there on my calf, and it's just fucking inflamed. I can see it something like something bit me, and then I guess it died like while being just still in my pants. So later on, like I found it when it just,
Wow,
yeah.
that's an interesting
Side note.
some way to little.
But yeah, right now I'm editing Premiere because I hate Avid.
Have you ever? You know what? I just got started. I have a laptop, and my old editing program crashed on my old computer, so I never migrated. I just started using DaVinci Resolve,
Oh yeah,
and their free editor is pretty fucking awesome.
yeah. It is better than having like the iMovie or whatever shit.
Oh
for free.
God, yeah, Jesus.
The Resolve is really good, and if you get to spend like $1,000, on like little content, so you can actually do proper color correction with a knob,
Mm-hmm.
it gets really good. It is restrictive. It has certain restrictions, and not the best. You don't get many features to actually be.
If you
play
buy
with.
it's like I think it's like $300 to like buy the entire license and get
Yeah.
everything. You unlock a lot of shit. I mean, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
More stuff than I think I would ever use for my current purposes.
Yeah. For straightforward like cutting, it does the work, and yes, as you say, it's very free. So it is better than actually just getting whatever else.
It's yeah.
I agree. I like Premiere. I like the fact that it is just very user friendly. It is the closest thing for like Final 7, for example.
Yeah. Are they gonna do with Premiere like they've done with Adobe Photoshop? Now you have to like buy a license, and you just kind of like buy like a yearly license for them to use it, or
Yeah, no, they have been doing it for a while. They have the CC, which is you pay for like a monthly subscription. For example, that's what I use. But I have the whole Adobe suite, so whatever I want to download, I just download it and use it on a couple of computers.
You prefer that? You just wouldn't want to have like physically own the program and.
You know what? No, because when you do that, then it is fine for a little while, but then 2 years later, for example, like they just jump into a new one at 9, 10, 11, whatever, and then you kind of like leave it left behind, right? Where if you have the CC suite, you always have like the updates. For example, right now, like with Premiere, they're having something that I love, which is it is let's say the opposite of DaVinci. Now you have like different setups, so you can create like a console. Like, okay, this is my editing, but then this is gonna be color, and you can do like nice coloring actually on Premiere. Like the ones that I'm doing actually for Resilience, I'm doing everything there. If I want to go and do sound, I can do it there, and it's really nice structure. It's not Pro Tools, or it is not the DaVinci Resolve, but it actually helps you to do.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pause.
Yeah.
And we're back.
Yay.
I needed a bathroom break, and you needed a drink, and yeah. So and we found the guy that you don't know, who's not a mutual friend.
New director to look up for.
Yeah. And then but we were talking about my Pocophone. A Pocophone is a Indian-made phone, or it's made for the Indian market. Let's put it that way. It's made for the Indian market, and it's about let's just say $340. But for $340, you're getting almost top of the line flagship material. So I decided to get the best bang for my buck and bought one of those.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, never heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it on Amazon. I saw this. I watched this unboxing
Yeah,
guy. I don't know the name of the show. I think it's just called Unboxing. And
the one that
he,
has like a wooden table.
yeah, he's got like a table and he's got like a beard.
Yeah, I know that
Yeah,
guy. It's fun.
yeah, he's up in Canada. Yeah, I watched that guy, and he was like really impressed with the poker phone. So he like, bro, he's like, I don't know why they, iPhone and these other phones can't bring something out at this price point
Yeah.
that's almost as good as them. And I'm like, that's my next phone.
That makes sense. The one that I'm waiting, but I'm pretty sure is gonna be a disappointment. Is the red phone. I saw it at AT&T shape convention that they had at Warner,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks really cool. Like the display actually is. They have an holographic display, so if you're watching films, you just translate it into like three-dimensional without.
I
making
saw
the
I
glasses
saw a
enough.
prototype of that technology back in when they were just starting to come back out with those 3D movies.
Yeah.
Avatar came out, and then they're like, "Ooh, now we have to come up with like a 3D standard.
Yeah.
Well, how do we turn our old movies into 3D movies?"
Yeah.
So I saw that technology on a cell phone, probably 2011.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
they were supposed to.
it was pretty
release
trippy.
it looks good. That phone is gonna be if they can deliver what they promise,
Mm-hmm.
like what I was doing with the X, like
Mhm.
it's gonna be way better because Red kind of like revolutionized cameras
Right.
single-handed. Like they just
Right.
did that for the market, and I think if they actually like make it like if they actually manage to do what they're planning, then that phone is gonna be used a lot for films because they have something like it is just kind of like a connector
Mm.
in the backside
Mm-hmm.
that allows for you to do exactly the same thing that you would do with a red. Just put models.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you would
Wow.
actually be able to just reattach and then just put back and forth like different things. Different set of lenses just in front of the lens, and then you have a red camera for like $1,000.
Wow.
And then you just buy all the things like separate. Potentially speaking, it's really good. Plus, you have like a holographic display that actually shows you in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe allows you to shoot in 3D. You never know.
Wow.
Like if they play the cars right, they can actually get like a really really interesting product that everyone in this town is gonna love.
Yeah, I could just see cinematography. Yeah, back in my day, we used to shoot on these big cameras that Red used to make. Now it's all on the phone. There's no art to it anymore.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, I'm gonna disagree. I already shot a film like that. So the cinematography in this film, I'll send you a link.
So what's if you don't mind, let me get geeky here. What frame rate did you shoot at? What was your what's the
for the Resilience?
no I can't think I can't think of it. But what frame rate did you shoot at, and did you shoot at 1080p or
4K.
4K? On that phone shoots 4K?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, shooting 4K, and then I go and do color correction. Okay, it allows you to. When it comes with like you don't have a lot of range. Like the blacks crosses.
Mhm.
Like if I'm shooting outside, for example, like the first scene, it's just right there in the forest,
Mhm.
broad daylight. So the extremely high contrast that all the highlights they just explode.
Mhm.
So it is tough. You can put a few ND filters, and that's fine. Like that's gonna compensate. The problem is that I was shooting with a rig,
Mhm.
so I can stabilize it. So that one doesn't support like that much weight. So if I would put the ND filters, it just goes cricket. So I sacrifice having a steady shot that looks really really good for actually having this kind of like lighting problem. You would have it exactly the same. You would have like even like an epic with like some prime lenses. It is the same. It is the same issues, but it allows you to shoot, for example, like 4K. I have a couple of software.
Oh, what's the speed of the lens that they use on that camera?
Actually, I don't know. I think
I'm just curious.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I would. I actually don't know.
Hmm.
That's a really good question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I asked it.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I'm
I
like,
was not
oh,
thinking about it. I was thinking about like how can we make this one for like make it look good and cheap. Not cheap the film.
I'm not like, I'm like, you don't want to make it look cheap, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want
yeah,
to.
yeah. Shoot it for cheap, for very cheap, and make it look good. Technology is allowing for people to do that. It's a good and a bad thing. The good thing is that you can actually go and do that. The bad thing is that a lot of people can go and do the same.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, that's what I've found interesting about what the internet has brought about, because before the internet, like back in the 90s, it was, you know, getting heard. Now you got to break through the noise, you know.
Yeah.
So now, everybody's a cameraman now, you know.
Yeah, I have. For example, like I started this show, which we need to kind of like go back at it. But we started this concept. It's a YouTube channel. It's called Angry Girls with a U, the girls.
Hmm.
And
I spell it that way all the time.
yeah, it's
Gurls.
fun.
Yeah.
So with my two stunt partners,
Hmm.
they're super fun. We started like this action slapstick comedy show.
Hmm.
It's just a YouTube channel. So we record. We have close to 20 episodes.
Hmm.
We only released four and a half, just to test the water and see, what the audience would say about it.
Hmm.
We had like good feedback. We didn't push through because we wanted to kind of like regroup and then just pitch new ideas, make it better.
Hmm.
But I think we're ready to actually launch the whole thing. And for example, like one of the things, these kind of like easy access to technology, both for shooting and distributing, allows for a lot of people to actually go and do stuff like this.
Hmm.
The problem is that it does get kind of like lost between all these things.
Right.
This show, for example, they're really funny. We do because both of them do action, so everything is action wise. Like for example, right now, the last time we posted something was almost a year ago. When we
Why-
were trying.
Were you shooting in between that time, or you just wanted to?
One of them, like she goes to Norway because she's
Oh, okay.
so she was working. So by the time she came back, there was like a lot of things, a lot of projects that we were having. So we never had like a proper time to actually just go back to it. But still, we want to finish editing the ones that we have, so we could just go back and start shooting more content.
Hmm.
Because that's the thing, like when you start for real in something like this, it is not worth it to stop, because if not, everything that you put out
Right.
there
Right.
goes like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Because
know
it's
exactly.
Very
It's
access button. You're like, oh, I'm
it's
done with
it's
you.
it's just like this, like. I got busy with work and I didn't have any guests on.
Yeah.
If I don't start, just like putting out things like, "Hey, come on my podcast, come on
Yeah.
my podcast." Yeah, if I were to like stop doing that for 2 weeks, I'm like, why would it?
Yeah, no, like these bloggers, YouTubers,
Yeah.
the ones that have like 20 million people following them.
Hmm.
People who were, for example, like super famous, like Jenna Marbles. You heard of her?
I have heard of her, and
You never saw videos of her?
I've never been to her. Like, I've had a friend show me her YouTube site,
Yeah.
but I'm not a subscriber to her.
But you have heard of her.
I've heard of her, yeah.
So, for example, this is one of the people that are like super consistent, and I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know because I'm not a fan, not a follower as well, but I can respect what she did. Like, she's of the people I know, she's one of the top like people with most subscribers. Like, I'm pretty sure that she has right now like 50 million people following her still.
Hmm.
That's a lot these days.
That's a lot. That's a huge, fast amount.
And the thing is that some of these people actually get to make bang out of it, because I know a lot of people who have like these days start getting followers on Instagram, and sometimes like 200K, 1 million, and then you hear like, yeah, I'm still not making money. I have all these people following, and I have no idea how to make money. And it happens.
Oh
a lot.
yeah, I know. I'm actually just doing this for fun because Kevin Smith's my contemporary, and I should have jumped on the bandwagon a lot earlier when Kevin Smith and I. So just to give you an example, of the size of my audience. That's why I was kind of like distracted over here. I have for my which I think is my best podcast so far. with Cami Kidder, who went to LACC.
Okay.
8 views. So
Okay. It's a level of marketing.
yeah, yeah, and I know nothing about marketing, so it's fine with me though.
I can teach you. Teach that.
Okay, all right, you're my new professor.
Social media marketing. It's fun.
I'm sure. I'll try it. I'll do it. I just wanted to see, like, I'm happy that I've got any views, really,
Yes.
any of them. I'm just like, fuck yeah, because yesterday it was like 4. So that means 4 more people have seen it.
Where are you posting?
Facebook? I'm not Facebook. I like so I'm posting on YouTube, and I know I have to get it onto iTunes, but I don't really. I've just been so busy, like just trying to get editing and all that stuff on there. I haven't bothered with
That's the
iTunes
problem.
yet.
Like these days, it requires for people to be like a one-man crew or one-man corporate for like
Oh yeah,
everything.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with things falling behind in that area because I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So the fewer people that see my mistakes, the better I think I'll be in the long run. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right now it's fine. I'm having my nephews look at it. I'm like, find out how I put stuff on iTunes. Go figure that out for me. Okay. Okay, Uncle.
That's fun.
Yeah. So, okay, so we got your directing out of the way. We got half of your producing out of the way. So what have you produced aside from the film that you ended up directing?
A lot of things.
What's been your bread and butter?
Bread and butter. Money-wise, things that are related to talent. Like shooting things that are gonna go for press releases or junkets, or going for like red carpets and stuff. Like actually covering those, because we have the section where we have talent, so we're actually putting it out there, PR and marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, these people need content.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these things happen because of them going to set, and then I don't know. I have one of the actors, for example, from like The Walking Dead, who played Morales, Juan Gabriel Pareja, and then he goes and he's shooting a new film. So I go and shoot some behind the scenes, and then conducting an interview, and this is gonna go for like I don't know everywhere for like podcasts or TV, actually sometimes live shows. And
I remember back in the day when behind the scenes was literally just like click, 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 and then get a couple interviews and you're gone. Now they really like from start to beginning nowadays,
well, because
depending on the project.
some of these people, the thing is that these days being an influencer is like a very important thing
Mm-hmm.
for actually getting casted.
Mm-hmm.
So productions are getting like something something back by casting you, and then you have like 2 million people following, so we're gonna market to these people. So they actually, for example, when I'm there and I'm actually covering one of these people, they just throw like red carpet because they know this is gonna go to the social media.
Mm.
And every time that they send something to just someone for like a radio, TV, some print, something online, they're gonna be talking about the film, and these names actually get something out of it because they're even not sometimes not big names, but they're famous people that actually have like that social media power.
Mm.
They just let me be. And that's I mean, it is not artistic, but it is still like the bulk of things that fall into my lap. Besides that, I always try to keep shooting like all the time. I get like a lot of things too. Like, hey, do you want to shoot this project with us? Or like some years it's like all about stunts, and they just hire me for stunts, and then sometimes it's just like a whole editing session. Right now I'm finishing like 2 feature films editing as an editor. That just same thing falls in my lap. And sometimes it is like, okay, we need a consultant for like editing or writing, and then I spend like kind of like chunks of my year just working on the same. And sometimes it happens like I'm shooting 2 or 3 different projects, then I'm either producing, directing, or actually sometimes both. I shoot like.
I feel very lazy right now.
Well, yeah, but it is like 3 projects a year is not that much.
Right.
I wish I could.
I
shoot
know.
more.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're like all the writing, and then I got the coordinating. Seems like you. I guess it's good to be a jack of all trades when you're in this business because you never know where work's going to come from.
Yes and no, because yes, you don't know where the work is gonna come from, and I have had experience like 13 years, 15 years of experience in like most of them.
Mm-hmm.
Stunts is the one that I just kind of like started. This was like 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Still not a long time, but enough to actually manage
Mm-hmm.
and be there. But actually, I think it has played always against me because
Oh, really?
yeah, because people are like, why did you specialize to just stick to one? Like because I can do them all. Like I'm trained and I have performed them professionally. What is the issue with that? And then I find that it is kind of like playing against me. Like yeah, but well, like you don't have like a really long resume, for example, in stunts. And you're like, well, I would disagree. I have over 20 projects, like professionally speaking, that I have done, plus like a shit ton of like little things, plus whatever I'm doing. So that's more than a lot of people that actually are doing that are actually currently working on. It is just the way they see it. Also, for example, I hide a lot of my credits. I always have in my contract a clause of that I'm the only person that is allowed to put my credits online, because if I don't like the project, I don't want to be attached to this thing. They can put it on the roll credits and that's it. But I'm the one who's handling my credits all the time. So they go and check my IMDb.
What do you mean? Like, you actually have written in your contract that
Yes,
like if they want to put your name to the IMDb
They're not
page, they're not allowed.
yeah.
Interesting.
I'm the only one who is allowed to do that.
Wow. How do you do something like that? Just
Just put in a contract, and if I see it, it's like, hey, delete it today,
oh, interesting.
or else there's
Okay.
gonna be a penalty.
That's
because it's
interesting.
already in the contract.
That's an interesting writer.
It is. I think it's needed because, for example, if I start working a lot,
Mm-hmm.
my main focus is directing.
Mm-hmm.
Producing happens; it comes attached because I'm putting a lot of time investing as producing my stuff, which is the one that I'm most interested in. Fine, I get hired for a lot of different things, and I get to be director for hire also as well for like commercial stuff, unprofessional stuff, or for more smaller projects. But kind of comes attached, and I'm fine. But if when it comes to credits and I want and my online presence, I want for director to be the main thing because that's what I like the most. So if suddenly I start getting like more credits as a stunt coordinator, then people start calling you for that.
Mm.
I don't mind doing stunts. I don't mind doing like second unit director
Mm-hmm.
to direct all the action. But ultimately, I want to actually be director, and that's it. Like moving away from editing, have my own editor, stunts, bring my team, stop coordinating or choreographing because we just keep getting older and getting injured. So I don't want to do that forever. But directing, you can do it until like you're Hitchcock, and then you want to just sit down, fall asleep, while everyone is just performing admirably. So yeah, that's the main goal.
You wanna die in the edit bay like Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah, like why not? Like pass out, and then people just trying to go through your drawers. See, like maybe he left a couple of script left. Can't sell. Like, yeah, that would be
They
awesome.
did that with Dr. Seuss. They started putting out his rejects. That's so funny.
Yeah,
Yeah. When you're dead, they're like, oh, what else does he got?
yeah.
Imagine what Prince's family's doing right now with all that. Well, he's got a whole vault full of tapes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He's probably going to be putting out a new album as soon as all that legal stuff gets all figured out.
Yeah. Yeah. Legality.
Yeah, legality. So, what's your next project?
The next project.
Because you're delivering this one.
Yes.
The Kazakhstan's got the other one.
Kazakhstan is out of the way. This one has been delivered. I just wrapped with Mirror Protocol. This is a post-apocalyptic dystopian film.
Mm-hmm.
Real interesting, but that one just wrapped up. Went to like
Oh, your next one's with Anna, right?
those are festivals.
Yeah.
One of the next ones is like the one with Anna. Menendez, and just waiting for that one to happen. I have another project that is called Howlers.
What's that about?
It's an immersive show.
An immersive show.
Yes.
So is this going to be performed live, or people are going to put on the Oculus Rift? What are we talking here?
Both. This is a new thing.
Okay, all right.
I spent 2 years of my life among doing other things, creating a theory. I realized after I like technology and I like seeing where things are going to be going and
Mhm.
what can we do with them. Immersive 360 VR and augmented reality are not that yet when it comes to technology. It's cute, but it's still not like the best.
Mhm.
But the thing is that also, narrative speaking, the projects that they're out there, they're not really good. There's nothing that is super compelling. As simple as this. Besides games, which are actually super cool, nothing becomes like a big franchise when it comes to no project that actually uses this technology. Mostly because they suck. The stories are like really, really plain, straightforward. You put in your Oculus and then you're looking around. You look away and everything's happening on the other side, and then you lose it. You miss what is happening. So because of that, I start exploring with my director of photography that I work really close with, and then by myself, just continue. And how do we do to actually create stories that make sense for these environments? That doesn't matter what you do because you have the illusion of choice. You have always the choice to just look around. The problem is that you lose a lot when you actually choosing wrong. So the task was like, how can I make projects that doesn't matter what I choose, I'm still part of what's happening and still make it something good. So after 2 years of research, I started actually developing a theory, which I finished it and I'm about to test it, which I call it Thulus. It means domes in Greek. And my purpose with Thulus was to have a narrative structured theory on how I could create anything, any kind of project that could place the audience being there with all the all the liberties for them to choose whatever and still being able to follow one, two, or several stories at the same time. And I succeeded. The first project that I wrote with this is called Howlers. It's a zombie apocalypse thing
Mhm.
project, and the thing is that sometimes I have up to 18 people talking at the same time, and it's perfectly balanced. You can just go and get yourself lost, and there's no problem at all. You're still gonna be able to find your space. You're still gonna be able to be part of this, of the happening, whatever is happening around. But every time that you go by, you can have kind of like different experience depending on what are you interacting with. It is tough just writing that thing. Took me like 3 months, but and it is short. It is like a 30-minute thing, and that's one of the next projects. So right now I'm working with several people that I've been meeting. Hopefully I'm gonna be meeting with David Armstrong, the cinematographer of the saga Saw Saga, one
Mhm.
to six, and actually gonna be discussing about this project.
Hmm. Cool.
There's
That
a
sounds
couple of
really
people.
interesting.
It is really fascinating. It's really expensive, really big, but of course, it is something that is new. It's something that is different, and it's gonna allow the people to actually be able to interact in these kind of spaces
Mhm.
with an actual narrative structure of something that is recognizable, as you would recognize with a movie. And it's like, yeah, I like this character. We can develop this. There can be there can be a
Let's.
full story behind
le-
it.
Would it be like, let's say, for example, uh, what if I have on, I don't know, some type of eyewear where it's just an augmented reality, but in that augmented reality, there's a dinner party going on, and let's just say, for example, like, I'm trying to understand if this is what you're doing. Like, just take my roof for example. Let's say there's a dinner party going on top of that roof.
Yes.
Now, do I have these uh, device over my eyes and I go through and I'm just like seeing an augmented version with these people there and they're interacting with each other? Is that what it's kind of like? Is or
It can be specifically this one. it can be whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing with Thulu's theory, what I try to do is like for it to be able just to create like the story that can be actually be followed and that can give you the freedom to actually do whatever and still catch what's happening
Mm-hmm.
without losing nothing important and actually being part of it. So it wouldn't matter if it's something that is, for example, like an augmented reality, and maybe you're having your phone and then you're just going around while actually you're seeing things, or maybe it is just some kind of like virtual reality set that you have to put, and then you get to just walk with your sticks and then move around. It can work either way.
Mm.
That is the beauty of it. That's what I spent like so much time because I was
Mm.
like, okay, I just think about it like 360 environments. That's what I call it Thulus because at the end of the day it's just like a dome. It's like a
Mm.
sphere that is going around us where you can rotate like 360, and then you can just be going around the whole thing. So yeah, it can be if that's the case, then everybody can just go sit on the computers, for example, and then just go with your mouse. Maybe if you don't have that technology, you can use your phone. You have the gyroscope, so you can actually check it without. You have the set, even better because it's like more fun. You can actually get it to do it. But despite the technology, what my theory allows me is actually to put all the drama that we would have. Pretty much what I did was translated the drama that we are used to work with 2D uh, projects into a three-dimensional space that can go everywhere, and how to actually be able to put everything that's happening into like a larger world. That is what I did.
So how many okay, so how many storylines are in this project? Just out of curiosity, how many different storylines can you follow?
For
I guess would
Howlers, I
yeah.
have five main different stories.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with something not as big,
Mm-hmm.
but these five different stories kind of like grow up to like 18 different characters that you would like to follow.
Mm.
That sometimes they speak at the same time, and it just merges really really well. If you want to choose one, that's fine. If you want to choose two and then just jump, that's fine. If you want not to choose anyone, it's also fine. If you want to just ignore, it's also fine because you're still getting information from everywhere around.
That's kind of interesting. It reminds me of these plays that they would put on here in Los Angeles back in the 80s and 90s, where you would go to this house and it would be like a murder mystery, and you would kind of like be the detectives and you would follow different people, or you could follow whoever you wanted to,
Yeah.
but at the end of the thing you would try and figure out who the
As a matter of fact, Howler is the way I envision it. It is to mix 360-degree environments with a traditional narrative 2D projects and immersive theater. So I'm actually combining technologies specifically for that. I have other 6 shows in total. The other ones are not as big as Howlers, but then I have other ones that are kind of like more focused in just like a single area. So actually be able to have like people just coming in and then just being part of that. So it becomes a little bit of a ride, for example, when you have like the experiential structure, and then people actually go and be able to be there. It's fun. If you can have it, then you can just shoot it, and then you just make it like available for technology, so you can just watch it on YouTube, and then just have the 360 technology. It's very easy. It's for free. You can just upload it.
hmm. That's interesting. Now, like I've been listening to you, like talk like this, and like now it's got my mind going. I'm like, oh, you could literally like go to a movie theater, like at a movie theater. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you would show up and be like, okay, tonight's performance is gonna be, and you follow these people on your phone for 2 hours and
My
through the
idea.
movie theater. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the way I explain it, it's tough sometimes to try to pitch it because there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things going on. But my main idea is the way say the easiest way. I want for people, I want for the audience to be able to be part of the movie,
Mm.
not just witness it.
Oh,
So
interesting.
taking a passive but yet active
Mm.
point of view
Mm.
and being involved, being part of it. Now, if I can actually get that, not only technology on a computer or a phone or a tablet, but I'll actually bring them to a place, and then having an actual performance, making immersive theater, well, I'm actually having all this technology around me helping me to push that. It becomes like way cooler.
I can see that getting like really complicated. Like not as far as like not complicated as that, like detailed. I can see how detailed you could actually get. It reminds me of like as you're talking about it, reminds me of the video game Elder Scrolls. Have you ever played that game?
No.
It's like a I don't know. I guess it's not Dungeons and Dragons, but I equate it to Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm sure anybody who's played Elder Scrolls is like going, "It's not D&D." Whatever, fucking same shit. All right. Anyway, but like you can go, like the land is so vast, you can go on all these like sub quests and interact and like all these different things that my nephew like goes through. I think his goal is to like do every like sub campaign that there is. But I could see it getting really detailed like that.
Yeah, it is about it is the same with a film or with a TV show or a web series. It is about how large you put the world for the audience to be part of.
Mm-hmm.
Because the story is as big as the location where the story is happening. So if you're jumping back and forth, well, that makes it really complicated. But everything happens inside of a bathroom. Well, the whole world is
Did
there.
you ever see that movie where a guy built a 1-to-1 scale model of New York City in? I wish I could remember the name of that movie. It'd be so perfect.
But he actually.
No, he didn't actually do it, but through
like,
it, it's like he like hired people to like be actors and play all these people, but you were literally you walked on the set and you were in New York City. It was kind of interesting.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah. So whether you didn't know whether you were inside or outside of this, in the studio or in the city at some point.
Okay,
It had,
interesting.
yeah, it was pretty interesting. I didn't watch it. I didn't see it, but I remember that movie coming out. It was an indie film, I think, back in the early 2000s.
With someone famous like Matt Damon, someone like this. So I remember a project, but I don't which one. It was around the time when Dogville came out. Who directed
What was-
Dogville?
was
Guzman's
it-
son?
I don't even know what Duckbill is.
With Nicole Kidman, like a really beautiful film. It's kind of like a village story, kind of like a period piece
Mm-hmm.
about this woman who just like comes into a town. I don't want. What's it called? Hold on. I'm gonna play it for you because first of all, they have a Nicole Kidman and Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, check it out. Oh, Lars von Trier. Of course, Lars von Trier. Super Experiment. This is a log line. A woman on the run from the mob is reluctantly accepted in a small Colorado town. In exchange, she agrees to work for them. As a search party visits the town, she finds out that their support has a price. Yet her dangerous secret is never far away. Pretty much, she just there like the town. Some people start kind of like hiding them in their place and all, but one guy started just like abusing her, like emotionally, sexually. But the wonderful thing about this is that Lars von Trier did he did a movie out of it about imagination, about like things that are non-existent to be for the audience for them to just imagine. So what he did is he had like this warehouse, everything was black, so you cannot see where it ends or where it begins, and then everything is just like spotlight, kind of like structured, for the ring and lighting, and there's no houses. So they're talking about a small town in Colorado. There's no houses. So what you have is just like a black floor that has painted like a limited area where the house is and where the kitchen is and where the bed is, and sometimes there's props like a bed, for example. But they just go and open the door, like pretend, and then you can hear the creak, or you can hear the footsteps. The whole thing is just about a layout of what a blueprint is and how they move around things, even a car. Like they get and they get on the car and then the car is never there.
Sounds like somebody filmed a play.
It is like someone filmed a play,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting. It just reminded me of that.
Oh, okay.
It is totally worth watching. But that thing that you're saying, I'm thinking it's kind of like about the same time
Oh, okay.
that the New Year going.
Oh, that's why we brought it up. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, maybe. I can't remember who was in it, actually. I honestly don't remember. Like, the actor is not standing out to me. I just remember that unique idea that to figure out how to fix his life with his girlfriend, he built this real 1-to-1 ratio world of New York City or something like that.
That's fun.
Yeah. I'm sure if we Google it, I'm gonna get something to drink.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna pause it, or unless you wanna. Yeah, I think the movie's called Skin. It's with who's Black Widow in the Avengers? What's her name?
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. She's in there. It was a really weird movie. Not too much dialogue. They do portray her as being nude at times, but I don't know if that's a body double or not. Could be.
I'm trying to
You just
find
never
it.
know these days.
Just skin?
Dark skin or something like that.
Yeah, because just skin doesn't appear with it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Scarlet. Yeah, she would be one to do actually that. She like the art pieces like when she did hair.
Yeah, but you didn't see her in her. You just heard her voice. Chat wouldn't mind waking up too.
Lucy. It's not Lucy, right?
No.
Under the skin?
Under the Skin. There you go.
Let's see. Oh yeah. I remember the trailer.
Yeah, it was pretty trippy. They were like, this is the weirdest alien movie I've ever seen.
I never watched it, but yeah, I remember this. Oh, they weren't nominated for it about that.
That's the first time I'd seen an erect male penis on screen. Yeah, excuse me. In a non-porn movie. That was the first time I can't recall ever seeing
Oh, you never watched Short Bus?
Short Bus.
Yeah.
No.
Short Bus did it better, and way earlier. Short Bus was 2005, 2004, something like this.
Oh, really?
Something like this. And not only did you see a full erect penis, but you see a guy giving himself a blowjob and coming
Wait a second.
coming out his face.
Well, that was about the same time as the Brown Bunny came out. Remember Brown Bunny with Vincent Gallo and
Brown Bunny?
yeah, Vincent Gallo and what is Chloe Sevigny? She gives him a blowjob on screen, like
Okay.
a full on actual blowjob.
Never. But this is the girl doing it to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no. This one is the guy just performing an auto blowjob.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, no. I was at a film festival, and then that.
I would have been like this. I'm like, I know where this is going. I got to go to the restroom.
Yeah, but you know what? They mix it with all this stuff that actually you like watching.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, yes, no. So it is tough.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, the short bus came later, 3 years later. It's just kind of like a ensemble, kind of like a cast, like
Mm-hmm.
four different stories of people that are having like sexual problems, sexual struggles.
Mm.
And yeah, at least when I was there, that year, this film festival, I watched like 110.
I don't think I've actually been to a film festival since the 90s.
Really?
Because I used to get invited to them all the time. Because I worked for Roger Corman, so if
you would
you
go.
knew me, you thought you had an in into Roger.
Yeah, makes sense.
And it was I got full of myself, really. I made a lot of mistakes because of it. So
Well,
because you start believing, I would go to parties and people would know my name. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. How do you know who I am? It was weird, man. It was really trippy. I got full of myself. I did. I thought I was the shit. Now I pick up. Now my part-time job is picking
Yeah.
up trash at a old movie theater. You know what I mean? So that's fine. I don't care. I'm just
No, I know.
I'm just happy I'm doing this. I'm happy I'm meeting you.
Likewise.
That's great. Well, I know you have somebody to pick up at 7 o'clock, and it's almost 6:30. So let's go and wrap this up.
Yeah, correct.
Please, Senor, tell people how they can get a hold of you.
This is really tough.
Well, make it as simple as possible.
I know. No, it's really tough because I purposely put my social media to be hidden so people couldn't find me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my Instagram is the Antonio CT, so like the Antonio CT, and it is pretty much just kind of like a collection of memories. So I don't care about followers. It's just like
Okay.
it's kind of like my personal scrapbook of my life.
Okay.
But it's fun and it's very stylized. It is really aesthetically pleasing,
Okay.
and it has hot girls. So it's like, what is the problem?
Okay. Can't go wrong with hot girls.
I
I
If you
I-
actually you would like more of the pictures that I'm tagged with, because it's sometimes I do photography as well with models. I started doing like sending stuff for like a big magazines like FHM and stuff as producer as photographer, which is the other kind of like hidden things that.
Yeah, you know what? I've lived in this town so long, nothing impresses me
Yeah.
anymore. But yeah, I would like to see those photos.
But
Don't get me wrong.
I get
but
tagged,
I'm just
I
saying,
Get
I'm
tagged to
like-
this, and then like I shot, boom shot, like this.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah, but
I'm-
Instagram is actually I think like the thing like just googling my name is just gonna go straight from my IMDb
Mm.
and Wikipedia, which was a recent acquisition that someone posted about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and now I have my own little square on the side, not actually as a link, but actually as a sidebar. And
Oh, right on, right on.
Yeah, so I have a Wikipedia, and it's like, I'm famous now.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the two easiest ways to actually get a hold of me.
Okay.
Pretty much just either try MDB, which is it has a contact there, and Instagram.
Okay. Great. And I'll put any of those links you want me to on the set. I want to thank anybody who's watching today's episode, and till next time.
Adios.
Adios.
I'll send you the link. So you can watch.
Hasta luego.